Yes, people. Welcome to episode 3 of Ask GG Anything. The wonderful people of Twitter have put some questions forward to me that I will be answering for all of you today. Thank you so much to everyone that put a question forward. Pretty obvious, but I wouldn't be able to make these videos without you guys asking me some wonderful questions. I'm trying to release these once a month. So keep your eye out on my Twitter at GG on Wrestling to put some questions forward. If you have any other questions you'd like me to answer for a future video, please drop them in the comments down below. Or even if you want to answer some of the questions yourself, I'd love to hear your answers. So put them down below. Drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Thanks for joining me. Let's get into some questions. So the first question we have this time is from at Kanye West. Name one wrestler you'd love to see a Genius style documentary on. Thanks for putting a question forward, Kanye. Big fan. Genius documentary is brilliant, by the way. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. I personally am a massive Kanye West fan, especially his early days. That College Dropout album is like very, very special to me personally. That's just my adolescence years. I was going into year 8. So that's what, 12, 13, I think it is, for any American viewers. And yeah, like what a documentary. Episode 2 actually just gave me mad goosebumps. But if we were to watch or to see that kind of style documentary, so I think what Ye is asking here is following a wrestler from the come up, basically. The first person that came to my head, possibly because I did watch the infamous triple threat match the other day for some content that's coming very soon. I think AJ Styles would be a spectacular one to see his whole journey, to see him, from his early WCW days to TNA, and just groundbreaking in TNA and just doing what he did, and then obviously making his way to Japan and the Indies, and then eventually WWE. I would love a documentary just following AJ's journey. That'd be excellent. Thanks for putting the question forward, Kanye. Good luck with Donda 2. Next question is from SCW_Steve. Make sure you're following his channel on YouTube. Great channel and a great guy. What are your thoughts of the Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston segment on Dynamite this past week? Can Eddie get the big win at Revolution? I thought it was good. Eddie Kingston's always brilliant on the mic. And yeah, I think he has to get this win. I don't see what benefit Jericho has by getting a big win at the moment. Hopefully, he's not being thrusted into kind of any main event picture. But yeah, I certainly think Eddie Kingston does get the win. Big fan of both of them. Eddie Kingston is one of my favorite wrestlers at the moment. And yeah, we need him climbing up the ladder now because I want him to win some gold. Thanks for the question, Steve. Next question is from at Ronan Keating. What are some of your favorite wrestling promos of all time? Hashtag life is a roller coaster. Some of my favorite promos of all time. Of course, the very famous Austin 316 promo is just timeless, and especially for my generation, that's where that started for Austin, and it was wonderful to be there to see it. Other promos, a fairly recent one, Cody, undesirable to undeniable, I think is a very underrated promo. I think it's brilliant. CM Punk pipe bomb is an obvious one. The CM Punk return, MJF and CM Punk going back and forth. One of my personal favorites is it a promo? I guess it is. Eddie Kingston cut a promo on BTE just after his loss to Moxley, and that, if you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. That is a banger of a promo. Yeah, those are just a few. I'd love to hear what your guys' favorite promos are down below, so comment those. Thank you, Ronan Keaton, for putting that question in. Next question from at Chat Nonstop. Shout out Barry every time. Make sure you follow his channel. Yeah, we've got some collabs coming soon that I'm really, really excited to get done. Do you see Cesaro going to AEW? Do you think AEW's roster is overcrowded, and will Veer ever make it to Raw? The first part of the question: do you see Cesaro going to AEW? Oh, it's a tough one, man. I think we're all kind of in agreement that Tony probably does need to start closing that checkbook at the moment. Got a lot of debuts. The roster is stacked. But how do you not grab Cesaro if he's available? He's one of the greatest talents in the world. I could see it, yeah. I don't know where he fits in. Personally, I think I'd rather maybe a Ring of Honor run, or I mean, G1 is this year. We've got a while, but Cesaro in the G1 will be fucking mad. That's what I want to see. Cesaro in the damn G1. Do you think AEW's roster is overcrowded? Yeah, I did just say that. I'm answering that first part. It is getting there. It's very difficult because you've got kind of two sides to this. It's overcrowded, yes, but are they using the talent well? Some of them to a degree. There's two ends of the spectrum here. You see, fresh talent that you haven't maybe seen for a few weeks pop up on Dynamite or Rampage, or the other side is, the same talent, constant rematches, the same matches every week. So, there is a happy medium there somewhere, but and these talents are free to work other promotions in between, which obviously they're not in WWE if they're not being used. Elias, prime example at the moment, they've got nothing for him yet. He's probably being paid quite healthily and quite handsomely, but wrestlers want to work. If he was in AEW, he could be working somewhere else right now and putting himself over, which is good. And if these talents can put themselves over elsewhere, just means they're more likely to be used and put on the main show. So yes, it is overcrowded, but I think within the next kind of couple of months we're going to see some people not get their contracts renewed. Tony Khan's already been quite public that he's going to have to trim off some fat, if you will. So I think that's what we'll see. And will Veer ever make it to Raw? I don't watch Raw. It's shit. And if Veer makes it to Raw, I couldn't care less. But thanks for the question, Barry. Appreciate you, man. Next question from Dad Attitude on Twitter at DDDem on 888. Thank you for putting the question forward, my man. I currently pretty much only watch AEW. Odd indie shows too. If you had to recommend another promotion, New Japan, GC Dub, Impact, NXT, WWE main roster, nope, Rev Pro, Progress, etc. to watch, which would it be? I'm probably not going to answer this how you want me to, Dad. But there's so much out there. We are spoilt for choice at the moment. We are so spoiled that even myself, I may not necessarily check out a whole event, a whole pay-per-view, unless someone's really recommended that it's great from top to bottom. But we're so spoiled right now. I just check for either talent that I like. So for example, you said that you're only watching AEW at the moment. So like I just said in the previous question, these talents are free to work everywhere. So if there's an AEW talent like a Moriarty or a Garcia, you can check those guys out in New Japan or possibly GCW or Terminus, So for me, I just follow who I'm a fan of, and I think that's the way where wrestling is eventually going to go. These guys are going to be more kind of going here, there, and everywhere, and you'll follow the wrestler rather than the promotion. And I'm slowly in that mind frame at the moment. Don't sleep on New Japan though. The booking, the stories haven't been great at the moment, but the talent is brilliant. The New Japan Cup is around the corner, so if you're not up with New Japan, that might be a great place to start for you, just to check out all the talent. Yeah, avoid WWE main roster. I can't stand it. That's my personal opinion and my personal advice for you. Rev Pro and Progress though, I've been to Rev Pro and Progress recently, and I can't tell you enough how much the UK scene is thriving at the moment. There are some great UK talents coming up that people really need to keep their eyes on. So yeah, not really answered it, but just check out who you like, man. If you see a name that you like pop up in another promotion, check them out. But definitely, I will give you one match recommendation. Rev Pro, if you haven't seen it, Will Ospreay, Michael Oku, 5-star classic. Meltzer knows, great atmosphere. I was there live for it. Don't sleep on that match. Check it out. Thank you for your question. Graps Knowledge at Graps Knowledge. Shout out Knowledge every damn time. What is the most embarrassing wrestling moment that you have seen while someone was watching with you? I've said before, I try not to think about these questions before I come to do them because I want these responses to be quite natural. So the first thing that comes at the top of my head, I think it was just a recent example, is the dinner debonair with MJF and Jericho. I vaguely remember, sitting there watching it after work one day. My missus is sat on the other sofa next to me, and she was like, what the hell is going on? She thought I was watching a musical. I backed it, obviously, good TV. I rated it still, but yeah, when you're watching wrestling, it's a pretty strange thing to pop up and see people doing a sing along. So I don't blame her for taking the piss, but she watches Made in Chelsea, so but love you, babe. Shout out you every time. But thank you, Graps, putting that question forward. Knowledge, really appreciate you, man. Take it easy. Dad Attitude again with another question. Thank you so much for putting a couple in, man. Really appreciate that. Should we be genuinely concerned about AEW getting bloated roster, or should we just relax and enjoy the wrestling? Did kind of answer this a couple of questions ago in Barry's question there, but yeah, I think it is getting bloated, but I wouldn't worry too much. As I said, there's a lot of contracts coming up ready for renewal in a couple of months, and Tony is going to obviously trim off some fat. I, for one, don't mind. I think in some respects as well, absence makes the heart grow fonder. If I haven't seen Ricky for a couple of weeks, I am gassed to see him on the show. Do I want to see more Ricky Starks? Would I like to see him every week? Yes. But, as I said, there's a happy medium there, which, needs to be found. Thanks again for putting the questions in. Nabil, shout out Nabil every time. Nabil, get the clip. If you were starting a new promotion and had to make 3 signings, one from each region in the world, UK, North America, and Japan, who would your first 3 signings be? Wow, what a question. Wow, what a question. Now, for the UK, I might cheat and pick Gabriel Kidd, even though I know he is obviously New Japan talent. It's either between Gabriel Kidd or Ojmo. I'm going to go Gabriel Kidd. I don't know if that's a cheat answer, Nabil. I'm sure you'll tell me. But yeah, we'll go Gabriel Kidd from the UK. North America, we'll have to go Kenny, man. We'll have to go Kenny. Just have to. I mean, you can't pass up signing Kenny Omega. And Japan, that's a tough one, It'd have to be Shingo, because I just want to see Shingo Kenny. So yeah, we'll go Gabriel Kidd, Shingo, and Kenny. Thank you very much for putting the question in, the bill. Appreciate you, bro. Next question, Mex from WrestleManiac UK. Make sure you're subscribed to WrestleManiac UK, one of my personal favorite channels. Tier lists, so much good content on there. Make sure you check it out. I did see this pop up, and I did see a lot of people responding to this. So Mex caused some fireworks under my comments there. Why is hashtag free Ali a thing and hashtag free Cage isn't? Brian Cage, like Ali, is being used on TV, but his boss decided to renew his contract. Be honest, do you think TK has plans to utilize Brian Cage now all of a sudden? I don't see where Brian Cage fits in. Brian Cage is a brilliant talent. I think he's great. Really talented. Not the best on the mic, even though he did spit some bars at that Warrior show the other week. Yeah, I don't know. Brian Cage is a tough one, man. He's got all the talent in the world, but it's just difficult to kind of write for him, I'd say, maybe. He just needs to be a heel monster, I think. Just come in and just tear people apart. Is there space for him at the moment? I don't know, man. I personally wouldn't renew his contract if I'm Tony Khan, if I'm completely honest. He's so talented, but I just don't know where he fits in at the moment. And I personally think Ali is a better talent than Brian Cage, if I'm honest. And Brian Cage has been utilized more so than Ali, I would say, and to a higher degree. I know Brian Cage had quite a short flash in the pan kind of when he arrived in AEW, but he did reach some heights that Ali just hasn't. Although, they shagged Ali with the retribution stuff. So, yeah, I don't know, man. And Brian Cage's missus keeps getting involved. Let's not forget that, which can't help. If my missus started calling up my job to go, "What are you doing? Pay this guy more," or whatever it is, I would be embarrassed. I would be so shy for this, so shy. Which I am for Brian Cage. I'm very shy for him. Yeah, free Ali, innit? Hashtag free Ali. Brian Cage. Take it or leave it, man. Sorry. This one is from at Cody Rhodes. Thank you very much for putting a question through, Cody, man. I know you're going through a lot at the moment. So me leaving AEW was pretty shocking, right? Yeah, it was. What do you think I'm going to do next? Cody, I have no idea what you're going to do next. I had no idea what you was going to do next when you were signed to AEW, mate. So I am baffled by the whole situation. I have no idea what's going to happen. People are talking like you've signed to WWE already, man, like it's a done deal. And then I'm seeing you teasing retirement, so you're just a troll. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, man. Do you come through and make WWE great again? I I still see people calling this a work. It's not a work, man. There was too much going on. When you saw like the likes of Amanda Huber, who runs the community outreach team, tweeting about his, his leaving, his departure. It's not a work. There's no way it's a work. Could we see him come back to AEW? Yes, possibly, but there's obviously some kind of contract dispute in terms of booking power and money, apparently, from what we've read. I want to see Cody in AEW. I want to see him lift the AEW title at one point. I know that's not what he wanted, but I personally would love it, and we'd love the Cody heel turn. Can he make WWE great again? Possibly. I'm not overly confident. If he comes in now, he's still number 3 behind Lesnar and Reigns. So, how much can we really push Cody? Does Vince really want to see you go into, WWE and people go, "Oh, Cody Rhodes, I remember him. Where's he from? Oh, AEW, what's that? Click. Oh, CM Punk, Danielson, Jericho. Wow, I'm going to keep watching this program now." So it's just difficult. If you do turn up in WWE, Cody, I worry for you, mate. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do next. I don't even know. I don't even know what you're doing. Taking your boots off and putting them in the ring. There was clearly some kind of plan there, which I'd love to find out what that was. But who knows, Cody, man? You tell me. Next question. At Groovy Jimmy 97, big up yourself every time. How would you book Keith Lee in AEW? Just let him be himself, to be honest. I wouldn't try and write too much for him. I wouldn't change him at all. He just needs to be that big friendly giant, if I'm honest. Like the crowd love him. He's such a likable guy. You just don't overcomplicate Keith Lee. That's the problem WWE had. You don't overcomplicate him. You don't change his name. You don't change his gear. You don't change his music. You just let Keith Lee be Keith Lee, and it'll all be okay. I do want to see him win the TNT title, but that line is getting pretty big of people who want to see lift that belt. But yeah, you could easily give Keith Lee the TNT title and just have him putting on bangers every week because we know he can do it. He's agile and he's massive, and he can talk. But yeah, Keith Lee, the person, is just a very entertaining, very humble guy. So I think you just need to let Keith Lee be Keith Lee. And yeah, eventually maybe an AEW world title win would be great. I don't know how you negate that with maybe MJF being the next champ, and then we don't know who maybe take it from him. If Keith Lee can build himself up in AEW, why not let him take the world title off MJF eventually? But for now, yeah, just let Keith Lee be Keith Lee, man. Don't overcomplicate shit. Next question is from at _Mark Morrison. What are your top 3 championship designs? Great question. Fan of your music. Return of the Mac is a banger. Favorite championship designs. Winged Eagle is one of my favorite all time. I do really like the AEW world title, to be honest. I think it's pretty sexy, but I would, just for nostalgia purposes, I'd probably put the Intercontinental title in front of that, the classic IC title, even white strap. What a sexy belt. Yeah, we'll go Winged Eagle, IC title, classic, the one that Shawn Michaels and everyone had, and the IWGP heavyweight title. I just think it's just, I don't know, man. It just screams prestige to me. The classic one, not this Power Rangers Megazord belt. The classic IWGP title. Just, you look at it and you see prestige. And do you know what I love about it? Yeah, is I don't know if people have noticed this, but they've got all the names of the previous champs on the side plates, which I think is just a wonderful little touch. So yeah, be those 3. Comment down below, guys. I'd love to hear what your top 3 title designs are. Next question at Delboy Tweets. Delboy, shout out Delboy every time. Make sure you're following Rest Things. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. Best damn podcast in the game, the coolest podcast in the game. And make sure you check out Rest Things House as well over on their channel. If you were to start a promotion with underrated guys, who'd be your first heavyweight champ, and why is it Ryback? Ryback is shit, bruv. What are you talking about? The only thing Ryback was good at was being hungry. That was it. But underrated guys, I don't know how underrated this man is, but I would honestly, if I could, I would put all my chips on Ricky Starks. Like the promos the vignettes this guy made were so sick and so just well done. And the guy is just like, let's not get it wrong. Let's keep it 100. He's a good looking chap. He's very marketable. He's good on the mic, solid in the ring, great heel. Yeah, I would dash the belt to Ricky Stark straight away, if I'm completely honest. At Wrestling by Waldridge. Make sure you check out his channel as well. Big up yourself every time. Thank you for putting a question forward. Pick to win the 2022 New Japan Cup. This is a tough question. Does Ospreay do it again? Does Shingo win it? ZSJ would be wonderful. He had such a great showing at the G1 that I think it'd be great to see him kind of climb back up the ranks to, singles. Jeff Cobb is another name that's been really impressive lately, who could quite easily do that. But him and Okada have obviously had quite a few matches recently. I want to see. Yeah, let's give it to Shingo, man. I think Shingo needs some momentum. He's going to have a great showing. My pick to win the 2022 New Japan Cup, I think, will be Shingo Takagi. Let me know who you think it is down below, man. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Next question from Anafi from Rest Things. Shout out Rest Things every time. Big up Anafi. Where would you rank the recent MJF promo? Where would I rank it? All-timer. All-time great promo. Not something we see from a heel to go out there and deliver such a promo. The man was crying on command, which just shows how talented the guy is. The crowd was shit. I think it kind of probably caught them off guard, but yeah, this promo will go down as one of the greatest. Just like CM Punk, that whole sentiment was brilliant. And and just the beats that it's added to this story, man. It's just every time these two come out, it's just some different like detail and a different direction with the story, which is just like compelling TV. And for CM Punk to come out at the end and be like, "Is it real? Is it real?" in a wrestling ring like that, just hurt my head. Like for someone to be asking someone else, "Is it real?" inside a wrestling ring was just baffled me, man. Like it just hurt my head. But yeah, where would I rank it? If I'm going to G-check the promo, um, I'd give it 5 out of 5 Gs. And it's up there, man. It's up there, one of the best. Probably needs to age a little bit. It's still fresh, but we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how MJF's story goes from here. If he gets the win over CM Punk and continues, and yeah, and I think this is a real kind of, you've seen babyface MJF there, man, and he can do it. So it's very, very intriguing and very exciting. Very exciting times ahead. But yeah, it's up there, man. Let it age a little bit more, let it marinate, and who knows if it will be, in people's top 5 promos ever. But yeah, appreciate you putting a question in, bro. Final question from @Matt Cardona. What are your top 3 items of wrestling merch / memorabilia? #woo woo woo you know. I'm going to be cheeky and not answer this question. I have some content coming very, very soon, where I'm going to go through some of my favorite wrestling items for all of you guys. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel. Make sure you hit the bell to stay notified of all the new videos and the new content I have coming very, very soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit up figtees.co.uk for all your custom figure shirts. Use code GGPod and save yourself 20%. Wide selection on there and a very, very great service. So make sure you hit up FigTees. But yeah, like I said, guys, I've got some content coming very, very soon that will answer that question. I'm going to show you all the kind of random wrestling merchandise I have, which I'm very much looking forward to starting that series. So I hope you guys are tuned in for that. We'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and drop some comments down below. I want to hear some answers to the questions that we've had today from you guys, and I want some more questions from you guys for the next video. Make sure you check out GG on Wrestling on Twitter. That's me, obviously. Check the gums, check the shirt, check the merch, and check me out wherever you get your podcast from. Audio versions of this and the other 2 Ask GGs are available. Make sure you check those out on my channel if you haven't seen those 2 already. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everyone that put questions in. Really appreciate it. Until next time, respect yourself. Don't neglect yourself. Peace.